trying to feign enthusiasm. Overall
Uh,
enthusiasm.
hey guys, let's review the show that is a complete clusterfuck both in front of and behind the camera.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Takedown Troop, your weekly TNA post show here at BC Wrestle Pod. I am Mikey. I am joined tonight by Radio Free Will, and y'all already know the drill. When it is the two of us, it is going to be a hoot and a holler as we tear apart this go home show, talk about some stuff that happened, and try to make these predictions for Rebellion. That is tomorrow.
Yep, the go home show that's just 1 week after their last PLE, right before their next PL. Like what
2 week turnaround, baby.
everybody just spam it in the chat. Lol TNA.
I swear, man. I was just like, dang it, TNA, you make it really tough. But we'll get into all of that as we go through this episode.
Oh, I'm gonna live up to my title today. CHO.
Oh my goodness. So I'm going to keep this intro short so we can just jump straight into everything. We pretty much go live almost every day of the week at this point. YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. BC WrestlePod on all the social medias. Pick your favorite site. Follow us there for report cards and extra stuff like that. Merch at our store, BC WrestlePod at shop.horthwall.com. Link in the chat right now. And let's see, coffee. We pay for a lot of pay-per-views and streaming services. If you feel inclined to donate, we would love that. But if not, that is okay. That link will be popping up all the things ever so often in the chat. Alrighty. Hi, Nick. Love you too. Give me some TNA positivity. I need it, fellas.
We're gonna try, bro. We are gonna try.
I think, and I'm just gonna put this blanket statement out there. We have qualms, but you know what? We do appreciate the talent that is in TNA. Like, we want to see these people succeed. It just sucks that decisions that are made by the higher ups, the people who control this company, are not great. So we're going to do our best, though, Nick. And yeah. Alrighty, let's just jump straight into it because we got a lot to talk about. So TNA Go Home Show Rebellion is tomorrow, coming from Cleveland, Ohio. So let's talk about it. This is the last of the stuff that we filmed when we were in Louisiana after Sacrifice. So let's just get into everything, shall we? Because we started off with this contract signing, and I just need to say, it's not just a TNA thing. This is a every place thing. I'm just like, nobody cares about contract signings no more. We all know how it goes. We all know how it goes. And this did not make me care anymore about this feud. Because literally, what feud?
That's I feel like that's generally the theme of Rebellion. What feud? It's like they filled out the card, but why?
They announced a bunch of the matches before we even saw any development on television. I was like, 2-week turnaround.
But I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you have a contract signing at a table and the table does not break, did you really have a contract signing? No. There's a table, break the table. Send someone through the table. I don't care if Dario Ray or Santino Marella is standing there. No, break the table. Or either that or it needs to end with some of the most cutting, like, there have been credit where it's due to WWE. When they do contract signings, it's either someone goes through the table or the people involved drop that's their opportunity to drop their most cutting promos, the ones that's just like, no, go ahead and sign it. It doesn't matter what you do. I'm going to win kind of thing. But like, really, like, it is a war of words before the actual words. I feel like contract signing should somehow incorporate a tables match.
There's a creative way to do it.
Yeah, but like, and neither happened here. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the two guys got a couple of good jabs in as far as promo stuff goes. As a dad myself, when I did when Santana said, like, if you mention my daughter again, I'll drop you where you stand. Like, yeah, no, I get that, but like,
I was like, Santana, I feel bad. Do it. That'd be more interesting.
But like, it was fine. It was
what it was. But yeah, contract signings are generally a shit show. They are.
Yeah.
And I think what did they say? There was a no contact clause. I was like, what for? Like, why? I don't know. I like these two. I really do. I like Santana and I like Mr. Edward Edwards here, but I'm just like,
I did laugh a couple of times because Eddie Edwards, whenever he cuts a promo, is really good about losing his Boston accent. It slipped a couple of times in this one.
It truly did.
It slipped there. It's like, whoa, you forgot an R there, buddy.
Travis. Anyways, so this contract signing was so let's keep going because the next thing we're gonna talk about, can't believe I'm about to say this, but AJ Francis, I'm sorry you're in this feud, but like
Yeah, like, it's this is such a weird feud for him because it's heel versus heel, and I'm like, we had like, Nick Nemeth hasn't been around to do a face turn. AJ is clearly not interested in doing a face turn. Don't get me wrong, AJ Francis beating up Nick Nemeth, to me, that's the stepping stone for a face turn, my god. Like, because both of them are the most hated heels of their particular zone, you know? And like, one of you guys, either Nick has to ditch Ryan and go take a face turn, or AJ just needs to start acting, I don't know, less like this character, or twist it into a way that makes it more babyface-ish, you know?
right,
'Cause
especially
don't get me
like
wrong,
this
between the two of them, I'm behind AJ.
same. But here's the thing, he doesn't even have to go full baby face, but like
Yeah,
I do like what AJ said here is that he feels that Nick is taking opportunities away from him in this company. I was like, you know what? I could get behind that if you
yeah,
twist it a little bit to sound more babyface-ish.
right.
So, but yeah, this is a weird feud. The match itself is weird, especially because I don't do the sports, but like one of the one of like a Cleveland sports star is going to be in the corner of
Yeah,
Nick Nemeth. I'm just like,
and,
I don't do sports, so I'm like, whatever.
honestly, if anything, I feel like this was just an easy way. This is not gonna be a lasting feud.
Mhm.
This was basically because they knew they were gonna be in Cleveland, and that's where the Nemeths are from, so it's going to, like, this was a quick way for at least one of the Nemeths to get a hometown pop, so,
Yeah. All right, let's keep this going though. So,
yep.
AJ, I love you. I'm sorry that you're in this feud, and honestly, I feel bad for Nick Nemeth too. Both of y'all, I feel bad for both of y'all in this feud. I'm gonna say this: I feel bad for the talent in this whole situation that we're gonna
Yeah,
talk about later in the show.
yeah.
But anyhow, we keep this going though because after we get this from AJ Francis, we get into, and this one really hurts to watch.
When I saw it, when I watched it, I'm like, "We get one more. We get one more." And let me tell you, if this is the last Impact, this is Danny Luna's last match for TNA, she went out like a champ.
She really did.
Like,
She brought it and made Jada look good too.
well, and that's just it. Like, this is my first time seeing Jada Stone wrestle, and I'm not gonna lie, Danny Luna carried this match.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there were a couple of really sloppy spots that Jada tried to pull off, and not for nothing, the size difference between the two of them, it's like watching a chihuahua fight a pit bull, you
Yeah.
know? It's like, "Fight, fight, 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 no, just stop it," and it's like, this is the match. Put it this way, the fact that Jada Stone came out looking as decent as she did is on Danny Luna. This is this is the match. Take the tape of this match and send it to Tony Khan. And
No,
just be like,
seriously.
Danny Luna is a free agent right now. Sign her.
Please do so. Put her into this put her into the women's division.
Yeah.
Like, already I'm just thinking, especially now that we have, thank God, after being away for 2 years, we have a returning Hikaru Shida. Like, there are so many
Yeah.
women that Danny Blue gets.
She's British. Put her in with the Brawling Birds. She's an ass kicker. Put her in with the Death Riders. You know, like, there are so many spots in AEW that she would fit into. And I will say, is one aspect that I felt bad about her for that I felt bad for her over this, because I've said before, I'm a huge fan of hers. Like, she is fantastic in the ring. Like, I love that she's bringing this kind of like ass kicking, she is a cannonball of a wrestler. And I love that energy that she brings. But because they don't have a feud for her right now,
Hmm?
she's being used to sort of build the feud between Jada Stone and Tasha Steelz.
Yeah. So
I would imagine that was probably one of the reasons that led to her asking for her release. It's like, I've been kicking ass. I'm a former champion. Like, I was in a spot, and now you're making me jobber to the stars. What the fuck? Like, it's
honestly, I'm happy for Danny Luna. I know
yeah,
she's going to do amazing things wherever she decides to go.
100%.
Tony Khan, if you are paying attention, get this checkbook. But honestly, if she wants to go back to the UK for a little bit, I know a lot of promotions who would be happy to help
Oh yeah,
have her.
100%. But yeah, this was a fantastic match, and This match exemplifies how good a wrestler she is.
100%.
And it's annoying me that I'm not gonna see her anymore unless she gets signed to AEW.
For reals. So, as far as it goes, like you said, Jada wins. Daniel carried this match, made both of them look great. And then, of course, Tasha Steelz comes out, beats up Jada Stone. That feud is far from over because that's what we've been getting for the last couple of weeks, which
Yep.
I'm okay with if that means that we could see Tasha more in the ring. That's all I care about. But anywho, let's keep this train going because this was a thing.
I'm okay. I wasn't mad at it. I don't
I
know.
wasn't
I
either.
I wasn't mad at it. I didn't love it. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Frankie Kazarian. I'm not a huge fan of Elijah. It's like it was just fine for what it was. I mean, we've talked about, the doing like the fully produced vignettes a la Lucha Underground. And like I like that they're doing this. It's fun.
More of that would be great,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's like I said, like I wasn't particularly invested in this one because of the people involved, but otherwise, yeah, no, this was fun.
I agree. So this is just continuing their feud. This is kind of like the well, this and what happens back in the building, so to speak, is like the final thing that is building up to their match at Rebellion tomorrow. So I would like more produced stuff, please. This
Yeah.
was great. This was fine. I still think that the horse chasing bit with Elijah chasing Order 4 on the horse when they were in Texas is probably one of my favorite things that they produce like that. More of that, please. That would make it more interesting.
Yep.
So after this, though, so apparently Santino and Indy are a team that are just like mollywopping Stacks and Ariana. And I have to say, this is a little weird of how this came about, but honestly, I'm kind of here for it.
It
It's stupid. Don't get me wrong, but I was
Yeah.
just like, it's dumb. But
Get these NXT fuckers out of TNA.
that's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Okay, and you know what? Like, honestly, I think this is as good an opportunity for us to talk about the big TNA thing that happened this week because it is, to me, it is very clear that it is okay. That TNA is trying to be okay. Did you ever watch Recess? Do you remember that show? What was his name? Randall?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, TNA is being the Randall to who was the teacher that was the playground,
Oh, I know who you're talking about. The
big
name is slipping me, but
gray
I know
hair,
who it
big
is.
yellow dress. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yes,
It is Randall to her. She is WWE. TNA is being Randall right now. And everyone else, every other promotion on the planet is just trying to play on the fucking playground.
it really be like that.
Like,
Alrighty, so let's set this up, right? So we can talk about it because
yeah.
I don't really care about the segment or what we get later with Santino and Indy being suspended indefinitely. Because I was just like, whatever. So if you are just catching up with the wrestling news, because there's always something going down every day in the wrestling world, but the last 48 hours for TNA have been an absolute, and we are absolutely, far enough in where it's been a complete shit show for TNA, and it's not been a great look for them. So obviously, before I get into all of this, I'm gonna say some things. So we're gonna do this real quick because I got feelings. We got feelings and things to talk about. And if you don't like our opinion, that's okay. Just don't be a turd about it. But we got things to say.
If you don't like it, if you don't like our opinion, it's a big internet wrestling community. Go find another one.
For reals. Go back into the hole you came out of. Alrighty. So to set this up, what has happened is that WrestleMania is next weekend for WWE. And as it has been for the last couple of years, anytime that WWE hosts WrestleMania in a city, a lot of independent promotions across the country, at least within the last couple of years, have come together, indie promotions, international promotions. They have lots of different shows happening during Mania weekend. So if you're not a fan of the WWE, honestly, there's something that you can watch or go to in that city if you don't want to go to WrestleMania, which is fantastic
Or
because
if
it's
you want to catch a wrestling show, then tickets don't cost you 4 fucking digits.
for real. So that part. And also support your indies because they are important. And that's going to become extremely important when I get to my next point.
Shout out to
But
Beyond Wrestling in Boston.
yes. So the reason that we bring this up is because since TNA and their talent is not, contracted to like a year-long multi thing, they can't go wrestle anywhere else. It's gonna be a thing that happens. The TNA talent can go make money by wrestling on the independent scene. So this is going to be one of those
Can
things,
they?
right?
Can they really?
I mean, that's fair. So the point being is that TNA talent, some of them were scheduled to appear during a lot of independent shows happening during WrestleMania week. So that included Moose being a part of the Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling show Multiverse, which is having a bunch of wrestlers from US and international promotions come together. You also have things like House of Glory, CMLL is going to have a show, Stardom. There's even there's WrestleCon, which is a convention that happens, and that also includes a memorial show to the owner of who put WrestleCon together, who has unfortunately been passed. So I want that memorial show to be something that you keep in mind when we get into this. Well, what happened is that it all started out when news broke that Moose was originally scheduled to be a part of the Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling show in Vegas was pulled from the show, and we weren't told anything why. And then it came out later that there was partner conflicts. And then it got worse because then within 30 minutes of that, Nick Nemeth was pulled from his match at Creator Wrestling Pro against AEW champion MJF. And then Leon Slater was pulled from the WrestleCon Memorial Show out of his match from Ricochet. And honestly, that one bothers me, not just from a wrestling perspective, but just from well, I'll get into it in a little bit. So when that was happening, the wrestling community was like, what the hell is happening? Well, fast forward the next day, and you have MJF blasting TNA, you have Pat Buck, you have the promotions blasting TNA. And the reason that these stars got pulled from the show is because apparently, and we can totally say this, allegedly, but we probably know that WWE was like, no, you cannot have your TNA stars be working with AEW stars, especially if they're going to lose, because they don't want the TNA stars to lose or be seen in a bad light working with AEW contracted talent. And then as soon as that statement hit, Will, I kid you not, I literally rolled my eyes. I broke the fourth wall in real life. And I was just like, what the actual hell is this? This is some crazy shit, man. So this is where now we can talk shit because I just set it up. But let me tell you, TNA isn't like a regular promotion. They don't do a weekly show. They do tapings for like 2 days, and that content gets them through 3 or 4 weeks before they come back for more tapings or the pay-per-views that they have. So you would think that because they don't get paid a lot, because it's not a weekly television show, these wrestlers have to make money somewhere else, right? Whether it is conventions or like going to independent shows and doing all that. Where I'm getting mad about this is for a whole bunch of different reasons. Number one, you're messing with people's money now, TNA, because you are pulling these independent wrestlers off these shows where not only were they going to get paid, but what makes the situation even crazier is that all the finishes and who was going to win and lose were already done. That's the whole thing. They were already decided, and you didn't have an issue with it. It became an issue because you had WWE come in and tell you, allegedly, that, hey, you can't do that because we're working together. We don't want TNA talent to be working with our biggest competition, AEW, right now. And that is just horrible. You take away people's paychecks, you take away fans who were excited to see these matches. You put promotions and, positions where they have less than a week to find another match to replace it because that's not fair to them. But what drives me crazy is two things. Number one, you pulled Leon Slater off of Memorial Show. This was a celebration of wrestling in general and to the life of the person who organized WrestleCon. So this is a memorial show. And you pulled Leon Slater off of that. So that's not a good look. But then you pull Nick Nemeth out of his match with MJF. Then you allow him to face Bear Bronson at the event, and then MJF would have an open challenge instead. But that match was going to go down with Nick Nemeth and MJF. That promotion is owned by your own TNA talent, Brian Myers. That is his promotion. And you mean to tell me that you took a match off of his show? That I am upset. My friends are gasted, but not really. The decision making that TNA has made so far this year has been abysmal, from their hemorrhaging of the roster with very little people left to letting NXT stars hold championships and not, the other way around. And then now you're blocking these wrestlers from taking independent shows if there's AEW talent on there? What do you want them to do?
It's giving Mean Girls in the sense I don't necessarily mean the movie or the play or whatever, but it's very much like TNA is trying to be the nerdy kid that is trying to fit in with the cool kids at school. So they pick on everybody else, but then the cool kids don't actually welcome them in. You know what I mean? Like it is a trope that has happened over media since the 80s. You know, it's like it's Carrie, it's Heathers, it's Mean Girls. You know, it's that doesn't exactly happen in the movie Mean Girls, but it's that same kind of shtick, you know? And like the fact that they are now at the point of like, no, they're just losing more and more talent. Like, and like, especially this week when they have, oh my God, what's his name? Sosa. Yeah, like they have him on and they're starting a feud of him with Eric Young. Eric Young's like 6th feud in 4 months.
It is
Like,
wild.
it's like, how long? How long until Sosa realizes like, this is a disaster. Like, no, I'm going back to Europe.
For reals. I'm just like, this is insane. And then, because of this is happening, I know no one's not really talking about this or paying attention to this, but in June, Steve Macklin is putting on like a wrestling show benefit for like the armed forces and veterans, which is really cool. Love that for Macklin.
Yeah.
But because of what is happening, I was like, this is going to be a show that him and his wife are putting on. She's going to be on the card. So you mean to tell me that we're not gonna be able to do that show, fundraiser for,
Yeah.
vets because, you got like Deonna Purrazzo, you have the infantry from AEW and ROH on that show, you have the Amazing Red who was gonna participate. Like, you got TNA stars who are down for the cause to do this fundraiser. So you gonna see this is insane. Swear to God, TNA, we can never get to a pay-per-view without some sort of shenanigans, tomfoolery, or controversy. The fuck.
It's because you and I were talking about this earlier, and just like the comment you came up with was like it's going to get really hard for people to continue staying invested in in TNA. And like I'm over here like, yeah, like honestly, watching this, present company included. Like I will sit here and dunk on it, but like at a certain point, like I'll dunk on it. But at a certain point, Shaquille O'Neal is so tall that slam dunks are not that difficult for him. So like this is like Shaquille O'Neal trying to dunk on a kid's basketball hoop at this point, It's I don't know.
I'm just like, it is what it is. I say that, but I'm just like, it's annoying
Is
to
it
say. It's annoying to say. You're messing with people's money. You're taking away opportunities for fans. And another thing that I think about it too is just like,
and
let
okay, one other thing I want to talk about is Carlos that just reminded me. The other thing, Carlos Silva evidently was coming like his whole thing like why he did it was like because quote unquote like and I'm probably paraphrasing here a little bit, but he was upset that AEW counter programmed Impact. Like, bro, nobody is counter programming Impact. Okay. AEW isn't counter programming anybody. That's been their whole thing, is taking the high road this whole time. Is like just doing what they do and proving that they have the better product. WWE, if you want to look at who's counter programming your shit, look at your buddies in TKO.
seriously, it's insane. It's like we're just taking it's stupid. It's annoying, frustrating.
It's like like no, there was like college basketball game. And like hell, like the wrestlers, the AEW wrestlers even saying like, no, we would have rather have gone on after the basketball game because that's a hell of a lead-in. But no, but the network said no. So like, all right, fine. You want to take it out on us for something our network did? Fuck you.
It's insane. And I'm just TNA. I was like, we can't get one pay-per-view in 2026 without some crap happening. You put yourself in this position. They literally shoot themselves in the foot, in the leg all the time. I swear, man, y'all just are allergic to success. You don't want to
Yeah.
see yourself succeed.
Yep. No, it is absolutely an allergy to success.
God, I swear.
Like,
Anyways,
yeah, go ahead.
let's keep going because
Yeah,
like we
keep
could
pushing.
go on
There's
forever. We'll just go through this and like, but yeah, my point being is TNA What you're doing is nasty work to your talent.
Yeah.
You are messing with people's paychecks. Not everyone can afford to go back to, the international spaces. Like our UK and Canadian talent will be just fine. There's lots of promotions they can still work with. But for our talent that can't do that, it's insane. And I was just like, if I was an independent wrestler, and looking at what happened, I was like, I don't think I want to sign with TNA. I'm gonna be so for real. I'm like, I don't want to work there because then if they shut down independent dates,
Well,
like,
di
no,
so it wasn't on the episode, but did you see the announcement of the other thing that's happening at Rebellion?
which would be
The guy who's returning?
the return of EC3. I'm like, oh, absolutely not.
Yeah. Like, okay, go ahead and make it like I know you guys made a big deal about AJ Styles last year, but, like, that's AJ Styles, okay? AJ Styles, notoriously one of the shittiest human beings who's also one of the best performers in the ring, like
The same is not the same for
yeah,
EC3.
like,
That
EC
man's level of delusion is wild to study.
it
So stupid. I'm just like, whatever. Anywho,
yeah, let's keep going. We got more to get
let's
to
keep
for this day.
going. Frankie Kazarian and BDE. This is fine.
Yeah.
I want to see BDE finally get a win, man. He has not won a singles match since being a part of this company. And then we're running it back with Ryan Nemeth on the countdown again because that was also on the countdown for Sacrifice. I was just like, y'all just don't got nothing for BDE. That's damn.
Well, they don't have anything for anybody. They keep losing talents.
That is also very true. That is very true. RIP headphone users.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I love your passion. And honestly, it is what's getting me through right now. This is fine. Frankie wins. BDE loses again. Ryan Nemeth attacks. I was just like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Continuing. This one, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one because I had no idea who this woman was.
Okay. So, like, in my brief, faintest memory, like, Taryn Terrell, who is a former WWE superstar, long, long time ago during the horrible 2000s women's division, not because they were bad, but because of the stuff that they were put through by
Oh,
everybody.
was that the Butterfly Divas belt era?
No, this was before. This was the bra and
Oh.
panty matches.
Oh, wow! Even before the Divas belt. Okay,
This was in the
shit.
heyday. This is in the heyday where the girls got yelled at. This is during the time where Vince thought it would be funny to see
Hold
Fit
on.
Finlay fail because he put him in charge of the women's division, but they actually were doing great things. And then Vince got mad that the women were doing better than the men at that time. This is also in the height of like the Piggy James stuff with like
Okay,
cool
alright.
I was like, the women were doing it, but they got like 2 minutes, bra and panty matches, mud wrestling matches, and it was insane. So this is Taryn Terrell comes from that era, and I was just like, girl, you and the rest of the women, y'all are my heroes because you had to suffer through all of that. That being said, though, I was just like, why are you here? I was just like, she's teaming up with ODB and Mickey James. She comes out to cut a promo that she's tired of the Elegance brand talking crap about, the TNA Knockouts legends and everything. She's in the ring cutting this promo. ODB and Mickey James are attacked backstage, so they're no help. The Elegance brand beat up on Taryn Terrell. And the Elegance brand is like, we're gonna destroy the past, and
There
I'm like, whatever.
there was one part of this that had me laughing out loud, okay? Because while the Elegance brand is cutting their side of the promo about it, Mr. Elegance has so little to do, like, there's a certain point, he starts doing this,
So stupid.
and I'm like, "Bro, what are you doing?" Like
I was like,
like
are we on a good one, sir? Do we eat a brownie before we came out?
yeah,
Like, what is happening?
he's just gonna be like
He's like, whoa, check out my fingers, man.
and it's like, "But, okay, I'm not sure what you think you're doing, but, like"
It's annoying. It's like they beat again. ODB and Mickey James got beat up backstage. Taryn Terrell gets destroyed by the Elegance brand, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm putting money on because of this that the legends are gonna win tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I was just like, but why though? Anyhow, we keep this going. I have nothing else to
And
say.
although given the person we're seeing right here, we use the term legend very loosely.
Very loosely. Victoria is a legend. Awesome Kong is a
Yep.
legend. Gail Kim is a legend. Though she aired out all the dirty laundry. And for one, I am grateful, Gail Kim, because she was like, nah, fuck this company. The way that they did everyone dirty, nah. I was like, you go, girl. We love
Yep.
to see it. I was just like, you tell it like it is. Anyways, we keep this going because after this segment, we get into a quick match. Elena Black beating Mila Grace.
The jobbers with names.
Yes, and I'm just like, y'all are already leaking when it comes to this knockouts division. Like, y'all got anyways, moving on. That's all I have to
It's
say about
yeah,
this.
no, it's
It was a squash match.
yeah, it was a squash match. It's like Miley Grace and Harley Hudson are jobbers with names, which sucks for them. And like,
It's like we can't build them up to have a tiny feud with the Elegance brand, but whatever.
yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Like the Elegance brand. No, no, no. We need to drag these three out of retirement so that the Elegance brand can have a feud. Meanwhile, you have half of the Knockouts division based, like I said, jobbers with names.
They are jobbers with names, and then you have a good chunk of your knockouts division roaming in the undead realm as well. Speaking because you got a couple of them in that storyline, which don't get me wrong, I love what we're doing with Rosemary. We're gonna talk about it in a
Yeah.
little bit, but I was just
Mhm.
like, other than that, you suspended Indy like in storyline, so she's out for who knows how long. So really, you got Elena, Mila, Harley, Langley, and Ariana Grace right now as your title picture, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
huh. Anyways, moving. Like I said, Elena gets a win here. Moving on. Indy and Santino get suspended. Moving
So
on.
suspensions all around. Continue.
Continue.
Ricky Sosa.
Ricky Sosa, love you. Get attacked by Eric Young.
Okay, Ricky Sosa, current TNA signee, and probably next TNA loss.
Eric Young also put it out on social media. He's going to hold an open challenge at freaking Rebellion. I'm like, I swear to God, if it's anyone else but Ricky Sosa, I'm going to be mad.
No, it's good. That's gonna be EC3. That's gonna be the
Oh
that's
my
how
God, you're
EC3 is going.
right. And it makes me mad. I'm like, ew, Ricky, it's not too late. You can go back to the independents in Europe.
But
WXW, man. W.
yeah, as long as he doesn't run into God, I'm struggling with it. Struggling to think of any British or any European AEW talent over there.
For real. I'm just like, you know what? Now that I think about yeah, it is what it is.
Claudio, that's the one. Yeah, as long as he doesn't run into Claudio.
So stupid. I'm like, honestly. Yo, Claudio been tearing it up in Mexico though. I have
That's
to
what
give
I
him
heard.
this. He's doing really good. He had a pretty decent reign as the CML World Heavyweight Champion for the last like 3 months. It's been fun. And he has a dual contract now with CMLL. So he's getting
Nice.
paid by AEW and CMLL. And then same thing with Thunder. Thunder Rosa also just got signed to CMLL on a
Oh
dual
yeah.
contract as well. I was like, listen, more people in Mexico, I'm not going to be upset about it, especially if we go back for Grand Slam Mexico in the summer like we did last year. I'm here for it. But Ricky Sosa, it's not too late. Anyways, we keep going. Undead Realm time. We got 6 whole minutes of this. So it's just like, okay, we actually get like, it's not like, this one was not my favorite. There's some things I have, it was okay. But
It
honestly,
it was a little all over the place, but you know what? I'm still curious to see what they're building towards.
I am. Mara cracks me up in this picture. She's like, girl, what am I doing? Like, what are we
Although I will say this was the first of these vignettes that I got worried that it's not gonna pay off.
Yeah, there was a lot going on here. So to kind of summarize a bunch of stuff that happened, right? So of course, now that we're in the undead realm, Mara can see Allie, so she's no longer just a ghost. So that's a whole thing. And Rosemary is trying to obviously Rosemary is trying to resurrect Allie, aka the bunny, back to life, right? So we're in the undead realm. Mara can finally see her. Victoria Crawford is still wandering around somewhere. Tessa gets talked to by Father Mitchell, which was pretty cool too. Camila Moore is walking around and she gets kidnapped by Havoc. Jessica Havoc. We love to see it. And then towards the end of this, like we have Rosemary with Father Mitchell, and then at the very end we have Abyss make an appearance, and I was just like, to be continued. I was just like, well, but yeah,
It was also
because
cool to that Abyss cameo was pretty cool too.
yeah, that was. I was just like, we just getting everybody. We have Raven, Crazy Steve, Jessica Havoc is running around kidnapping people. Abyss is here. Father Mitchell is back. I was just
Like,
like,
we haven't had a lot of, like, good supernatural stuff happening in here, you
for
know? It's like
real. I was like, can we bring Su Young? I would love Su Young to come back. Anywho, but yeah, this went a little bit long. There was some stuff I was like, this is okay, but honestly, this is probably even with that, this is still the best thing that's going on in TNA right now. Just don't mess it up. But I have a
yeah,
fear that they will, given the track
please stick
record.
to the landing.
Please stick the landing. Rosemary as champion. Please give her one more run. All right, let's keep going. So we gotta get out of the undead realm and we gotta talk about Ollie and his promo against Trey Miguel. I was just like,
This
what's the thing?
this promo could have been an email.
It really could have. We did not need the back and forth, honestly. And it, again, this is all recorded before everything that happened this week because it's funny that Ali mentioned the Rascals. Like he mentioned Dez and Myron and Zach in this promo, and then y'all pulled talent who are working against AEW. So that was ironic. And Trey is he's 10 toes down. He's gonna fight Order 4. Kind of gets the upper hand a little bit, but then the numbers game is too much. And then as Special Agent Zero is about to destroy Trey, Moose comes out for the save with, Mrs. Edwards as well. So I was like, Alicia, I love you, but what you really gonna do, girl? I was like, what you gonna do? So that was the thing that happened. I still think this match at Rebellion is gonna be fun, but I was just like, for
Yeah.
a lot of these builds, I was like, just honestly, every minus AEW, I still have issues with AEW. I was just like, but every other promotion here in the United States, I was like, what is happening, y'all? These builds to these pay-per-views are whack. And it's just like, I don't need it to be a 5-star classic in terms of story building, but damn, like, put some effort into it, put some thought. Anywho, keeping it rolling though. We get to the main event. This is a tables match for the TNA Tag Team Championships. And for anyone,
Wait. Hold on. Because before we get into this match,
uh-huh,
they ran through the card for Rebellion, okay?
uh-huh.
I kind of fast forwarded through this match because when they announced the card for Rebellion, the image here was the Hardys versus the System. Now, Ray Walt and the other guy try to play it off. So like, oh, it's whoever wins here, the Righteous or the Hardys.
The image
It-
got released like 2 weeks ago, right after Sacrifice. So
yeah,
they already spoiled it for us. I was just like,
it's
we
like
already been knowing.
it's like guys, we get it. The Hardys are not putting anyone over. It's like
So this is a tables match for the TNA World Championship. And I'm just sitting here and I was just like, even if that graphic was not given to us, I was just like, we already know they ain't gonna win.
yeah.
So it was frustrating. So towards the tail
Also,
end,
also
go
for the
for it.
record, if we live in a world where the Big Show can accidentally step backwards off the ring through a table and have that table break, and that counts as the break of a table, so he loses that table match. And yet there is a moment where Matt Hardy goes off the top rope through a table after Dutch rolls out of the way, or was it Vincent? I don't remember. But when one of them rolls out of the way, that counts. Okay, that was a BS call. But no, we need to protect the Hardys. Fucking Hulk Hogan Hardys over here.
Jesus. Yeah. So to kind of summarize this, we end up getting through it because we lose a Hardy and we lose a Righteous towards the tail end. So it becomes a one-on-one match, and then Jeffrey is able to secure the win here. The Hardys don't get to celebrate for long as the Righteous beat them up at the very end as TNA goes off. And I'm just sitting here and I was just like, I can't believe I'm saying this. We're going to talk more about it in predictions, but I swear to God, I want Brian Myers to win tomorrow. I was just like, I don't care at this point. I was like, it is what it is, but I was like, I need these titles off the Hardys because if they beat Bear Bronson and Brian Myers tomorrow, I'm like, we literally have nowhere else to go.
I can't believe I'm actually saying this. I want the System to sweep those titles.
On it, well, okay. So honestly, I can make a case for Bear and Brian to win.
Yeah.
I can make a case for honestly, I could probably make a case for Eddie to beat Santana as well. Love you, Mike, but
Yeah.
they ain't doing anything with you. I'm still 50-50 on Leon and Cedric, to be quite honest.
I think they need to do it to make Cedric look believable.
Yeah, which we'll see. Because I like Leon, but honestly, if Leon wants to chase Cedric for the title again, I'm okay with that because that will be fun. But yeah, so that was TNA, the Go Home edition, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
so it is what it is. But don't touch that dial because we are going to move on to our final part, which is to make our predictions for Rebellion. So for once, Rebellion is tomorrow, not tonight. So we actually get to make these predictions ahead of time. So
And I don't get to Google what the results that happened 2 hours ago.
be like, you big cheat. Anyways, I just sent you the form via Discord, Will. Alrighty, so let's go through it. So Rebellion is tomorrow. It is coming to us live from Cleveland, Ohio. And we're going to go through the card and we are going to make our predictions. Fun fact, this is also our final predictions for the 2025-2026 prediction season for TNA. And whoever has the highest score at the very end will be crowned the predictions champion, which, given everything that's happened, I don't know if that is an honor that anyone truly wants to bestow. But hey, you know what? As crappy as TNA has been over the last couple months, this is fun for us because I like us
Hey,
interacting outside of our shows, but I'm also a little bit competitive as well.
I'm okay being the wrestling game Waldorf and Statler.
Yes, as a prediction champ too. It would be fantastic. All right, let's get into it. So far we only have one match for the countdown show. We're probably going to get the open challenge. Who knows?
Yep.
But Brian Nemeth versus BDE. The way that they are building up BDE is can he finally get his first singles win? And my answer to that is God. I want him to, but I highly doubt it.
I'm gonna give it to him.
I'm picking him because I want it. I'm manifesting it because I want to see BDE finally get a win here.
Well, that's like what. So, do you vote for who you want to win, or vote for who you think is gonna win?
That is very true. I'm going with BDE because I like Ryan's face is punchable, and that's not a good enough reason, but
Yeah,
it is to me.
yeah,
So I just realized I did some misspellings on this thing. Oh well,
yeah. Whatever.
whatever. So let's get into this main card: Frankie Kazarian versus Elijah. I'm gonna pick Elijah because he's been on the losing end against Frankie over the last couple of weeks and the last month, to be completely honest. So I'm gonna go with Elijah winning here because something tells me we're gonna get one more. We're gonna get another match since Frankie beat Elijah at Sacrifice in that tag team match. Elijah can win here, and then at the next pay per view we get our blow off match. Or on TNA episode we get the blow off match. So I'm gonna go with Elijah here.
I'm gonna give it to Frankie.
Cool.
Not couldn't tell you why. Just mainly because I don't have a ton of investment into this feud. So,
I mean, we can apply this to the next one too.
yep. Well, honestly, I think on this one, I'm giving this one to Nick Nemeth
Yeah,
because
unfortunately.
because on well, it's heel versus heel. It's literally just a reason to give Nick Nemeth the hometown pop, and he's going to be the hometown guy. It's a throwaway match. It's not going to lead to a feud. If it does lead to a feud, I will be very shocked. But yeah, no, this is an exhibition match for Nemeth.
It really is. Alrighty. And then after that, because I forgot this match was happening until I put the slides together for Rebellion, Moose versus Special Agent Zero.
Special Agent Zero in this picture looks like that lawyer on TV that is like the TV lawyer that just takes everything super seriously. You've got two different kinds of TV lawyers. The ones that are like the solid one of like, hey, I'm gonna make some jokes, but I'm gonna win you money. And then you've got that one guy that's like, I will protect you and your family. It's like, yeah, no. Special Agent Zero is that second kind of TV lawyer in this picture. But I'm gonna give it to Moustache.
Yes, Moustache for the win. Because I think they're going to have Moose run through Order 4 to get to Ali, a la like what we just did with the system. But
Yep.
whatever. Alrighty. Next up. Now, I need to stress this because they didn't do a good job of announcing it, but thank goodness I do my research. So this match between the Elegance brand and Mickey James, ODB, and Taryn Terrell is apparently going to be a hardcore country match. So basically, anything goes, no DQ, street fight, essentially.
So like with this in mind, I'm sitting here going like, oh, so they may bring out some weapons. Awesome. That means the edge will go to the legends like Mickey James and ODB, who I know are not strangers to using foreign
Weapons.
objects. Taryn Terrell, I still have no idea who she is, so I couldn't tell you one thing or the other about her. Elegance brand, they're probably not going to use weapons, but they will have the concierge and Mr. Elegance to run interference for them. So like, okay, each one is going to be and then I'm like, no, Will, this is TNA, not AEW. There's not going to be any sicko spots here. Excuse me, it's TNA, not AEW, and Danny Luna is not involved.
Right.
So yeah, no, this I'm just probably going to go to the legends.
Unfortunately, I would love to see the Elegance brand.
There is no fortunate outcome for this match.
The ultimate loser is us.
We all lose.
We all lose. And it sucks
Yeah.
because I was just like, Elegance brand, I'm sorry, girls. Like, again, I say this to all the talent. It is really shitty what is happening right now. And it is not your guys' fault. You're just doing your job. And I was just like, God, it's annoying. But I think I agree with you. I think they're going to give it to Mickey, ODB, and Taryn Terrell. So,
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's get into this. So now we're getting to all our championship matches. I don't care. Out of spite, I'm picking the system to win
Yep.
Like,
Please, please, just like,
it doesn't have to be a long title reign, but let's get these titles off of Hardys.
well, let's just get the titles to change. Like, the people that have had the titles have had all of the champions in TNA right now have had the titles for so long. And like, it needs to, like, I'm not saying you have to hot potato the titles or anything like that, but like, there's gotta be some kind of challenger, you know?
For reals. I'm just like,
So yeah, system.
the system. I want, especially because it's these two. I'm like, I
Yeah.
really want Bear Bronson to be a champion, and
Yeah.
Brian Myers too. I'd like them both. Anywho, next match is for the TNA International Championship match, and I'm gonna be honest, I need to flip a coin for this one because I really don't know.
Honestly, I think Trey is gonna retain because I think I really wanna see them push Trey more. And, okay, I wanna see them push Trey, and basically, he's the only champion here that I think is gonna retain the title because they want to make him a more credible champion, or at least mid-card champion, you know? And frankly, I think the international title is beneath Ali.
That's fair. And it's funny that it's the international title, but you're gonna be blocking your TNA talent from taking this title anywhere else.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go. I agree with you. I think I'm gonna go with Trey, especially now that I think about it. Him and Jada lost at Sacrifice against Ali and Tasha. So I was just like, all right, I think Trey is gonna bring it, and he's gonna retain. Alrighty. This match I'm still 50 on, but for the TNA X Division Championship match, Leon Slater versus Cedric Alexander, I am of two minds on this. TNA has really been painting this narrative that if Leon Slater can make it to Slammiversary this year during the summer, he will become the longest reigning X Division champion in this company's history. Not only does he have the award of being the youngest X Division champion ever in this company's history, but if he can make it to Slammiversary in the summer, he will become the longest.
No
On
one's
the
held
other
up for
hand,
longer than a year?
nope, Moose. So I'm trying to remember who holds the title for the longest reign right now. I have to look it up. But Moose, he Leon Slater last week dethroned Moose and is now in second place because Moose was the second longest reign of X Division champion. So that's for Leon Slater. On the other hand, though, like we talked about, I really like the idea of potentially, like, if you want the system to really be where they need to be right now, leading us into the summer, having them sweep the titles would be fantastic. And
Yeah.
honestly, Leon chasing Cedric Alexander would be really cool because I think Leon works really great as a champion, but chasing the title was great because that is what got us so invested with Leon chasing Moose for that title. And then finally, the payoff at Slammiversary last year was amazing to watch.
So, and that, like, I'm saying Cedric because I think, like I said, I think the move that TNA wants to set the system up as a dominant heel faction. And if they're not gonna do it with Order 4, they need to do it with the system. And in order to do that, they need to put gold on them. Lots of gold. Not just like one title, several. And I think with this, you can get the Rebellion is going to end with every member of the system standing in the ring holding a belt.
I would love that. So I am gonna go with Cedric too, because I like Leon is fantastic as a champion, but I think he would be funner as a chasing challenger,
100%.
which would be great.
And that's always makes for a better story anyway.
Yeah. Alrighty. Moving on. So we only got two matches left, and they are for both the top prices, if you want to call it that, for the knockouts division and the men's division. So let's start with the knockouts. So the TNA Knockouts World Championship, Ariana Grace defending the title against Lane Lee, just because I want to manifest it. Even though she was champion already, I would like to see Lane Lee finally get it back from Ariana. But because of who we got left in this knockouts division now that Danny and Luna has exited, cannot believe I'm saying this. I think Ariana's going to retain. Especially because Stax is still here and he's probably going to end up screwing over Lane Lee. That is how Ariana has been retaining so far, is that Stax has been helping. So I cannot believe I'm saying this, though. I do think right now, depending on where we go in the summer, I think they might be building up Indy to be the one to finally get the title off of Ariana. So I'm like, whatever. As long as it comes back to TNA at this point, I don't care.
Yeah.
But not this time at Rebellion. And it makes me sad.
Yeah.
Just
world title.
So yeah, I got Ariana retaining, and it hurts my
Yeah,
soul
same.
saying this. It hurts
Yeah.
my soul.
Same. On all
Anyways, all right, moving on to what is probably main eventing the show. Mike Santana versus Eddie Edwards for the TNA World Championship. I like Mike Santana. I think he's fantastic, and this man
100%.
has the patience. And he has the patience of a saint of how much that he's been screwed over since Bound for Glory last year, and the journey we have taken with him thus far. With that being said, I'm gonna go with Edward Edwards here because again, I think a program where the system is on top leading into Slammiversary would be fun, especially if we end up getting like the B level like TNA plus exclusive pay-per-view. Slammiversary is perfect opportunity if you really want to be like, all right, so we built this up for 3 months or 2.5 months, so to speak. Now let's like the system can start losing titles, blah blah blah, whatever. Let's carry this into the summer, y'all. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Edward Edwards.
Yeah, same. I think, like I said, I think the system is gonna sweep the titles. In fact, I kinda wish that Alicia Edwards had stuck with the system so that you could have her win the Knockouts title.
That would be
And
fantastic.
have all 5 members of the system holding up gold. And if you really wanted to make them this monster heel faction
All right.
and basically have them run the system. We have it under control. We are the game in town. You do not pass this. And then once you set them up like that, and then you have people start like sort of taking them off one by one.
So, yeah, so we shall see how that all goes down. That is our predictions for Rebellion, and thus that brings our TNA post show to an end tonight. TNA Rebellion is happening tomorrow. Still trying to figure out if we're going to do a watch along or if I'm going to be like, screw it, we'll just watch it together. We don't have to perform. Then we can yell at our screens together. So we'll figure all that. I know I will be here for sure, and then the rest of y'all can come if you want. So we'll see how that goes. But that's going to be it for us here tonight. Like I said, tomorrow is possibly a watch along for Rebellion. But honestly, after this week, I was just like, I'm not feeling it. So we'll see how I feel tomorrow morning. And
Yep.
if so, we'll see. I'll get people's thoughts. Be like, hey, do y'all just want to watch it without us streaming it? Because then we can just collectively yell and not. I'll record it so at least we can have some clips. Be like, the TNA the TNA Takedown Troop post show folks got together to watch Rebellion. The following is a record of their actions. Viewer discretion is advised. Dun
So
dun.
that's what we gotta do. Like, so if we do watch it together, then we need to record us watching, just go like, and have like what's the sound that's on TikTok? Like, do ba do ba do ba do,
Exactly.
and it's just us sitting there going like, what? Why?
Be like, in the words of in the words of Drag Queen Bosco, it's just like TNA. Why? For what? And honestly,
Pourquoi?
Pourquoi, as the kids say, pourquoi. Oh man, radio. I know we tore this episode a new one, but honestly, even though we did, spending a Friday night with you is always fantastic fun, my
Yep.
friend. And thank you for being here because it's nice to have other people. Yeah.
Suffer. It's nice to have other people suffer with you. It's
I mean, what can I say? Nah, honestly, here's the thing, right? I try to surround myself with people. I was like, we don't always have to agree. But when we do, though, you better watch out because I'm a diehard TNA fan. But even like this episode and what has happened this week, I was just like, TNA, I love you so much. But gosh darn it, that is why I'm calling y'all out because I love you so much. Damn it. Anyways, but that's gonna be it for us tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. You will see something in terms of Rebellion, whether we watch it live or you'll see a recorded clips on the interview posted on the internet of our reactions. Be like, it doesn't matter that it's gonna make great content nonetheless. But from all of us here at PC WrestlePod to you at home, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always
trust the system.
we will be back next Friday to break down Rebellion. But until then, and until next time, peace.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.